Harvey, as always, thank you for being with us. We appreciate the updates.
Psycho
Joining us now
Battle
with more on
Part
all
2.
of tonight's new details, the host of Crime Stories on Fox 1, Nancy Grace. All right, we have both been kind of skirting around the issue. We have talked about it privately. I have told you my FBI sources were very clear to me that local authorities, and I'm not talking about rank and file, I want to be very clear. The leadership did not want them there. There has been a turf war. There has been this feeling of bigfooting, but taking a glove and sending it to a private lab in Florida instead of the FBI headquarters in Quantico, really?
There are cases where DNA is sent to a particular lab, a specialty lab, a lab that could have an expertise in diluted, destroyed, old, degenerated DNA. But even if that's why he's hanging his hat on an excuse to send it to a private lab in Florida, they don't have anything that the FBI doesn't have. So that's not going to wash. And I want to tell you something, Sean. I've tried many DNA cases. I've tried many cases without DNA. You can use up DNA if you have a small amount, which comes from touch DNA. It's not like blood or sperm where you may have a lot of DNA and a very small amount of fluid, but you have a lot of DNA. Touch DNA, no. If there is it hurts me to think of this. If there is a small amount of DNA inside one of those gloves, and it is sent to a lab for testing, that DNA could be used up in the testing. It's very hard to regenerate DNA for testing purposes. So what I'm saying is, if that lab in Florida uses up that touch DNA, it's over. Does he not realize what he is risking? He needs to go back to his basketball game and let the fans handle this in Quantico. But it's done. It is done. And I can't tell you the difference DNA makes in a case. That's the number one thing right now. Second is the vehicle. Trucks. The feds are looking for trucks. A gray truck in particular. They're asking everyone within a 2-mile radius to pull video and have they seen a truck? Have they seen a gray truck? And do they own a truck? And do they know somebody that does own a truck? Why did they focus on a truck? Because apparently a truck has been picked up on video surveillance around questionable times. Now, if you look at times at which they are searching, they're looking at a date back in January, 3 weeks before the incident, and they're looking at the time a day before the incident. One is daytime, one is night. They're looking at surveillance video, and I think they've seen a gray truck surveilling the home in daytime conditions and nighttime conditions. Why do we need the vehicle? Nancy Guthrie was bleeding, and I don't care how much they clean that vehicle, they're not going to get rid of all the blood. A vehicle makes all the difference. Do I have to say Bryan Kohberger? We know the DNA helped the case, crack the case, but it all started with an idea of an Elantra. And why Elantra?
Fuck
and that
yourself,
went over
you
to WSU,
stupid
Washington State
airhead.
University in Pullman.